August 28, 1963. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. These words were spoken by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. following the Birmingham campaign in April 1963. I would like to discuss the ongoing importance of the I Have a Dream speech. First, I'll discuss the circumstances that led to the speech, and second, the impact the speech had on the world. The world dealt with conflict like segregation, the fight for freedom, and racial injustice. Growing up in Atlanta, Georgia, King dealt with segregation. In his I Have a Dream speech, King claims that we can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their adulthood and robbed of their dignity by stating, "For whites only." The fight for freedom began with the Montgomery bus boycott on December 1st, 1955. According to Britannica Online Encyclopedia, Rosa Parks had refused to surrender her bus seat to a white passenger and as a consequence was arrested. This speech was necessary because there was so much racism, hate, and violence towards African American citizens. In the year of 1963, King wrote Letter from Birmingham Jail when he was arrested in peaceful protest. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, King's campaign to end segregation drew attention, nationwide attention that is, when police turned dogs and fire hoses on the demonstrators of a peaceful protest. According to History.com, the struggle for civil rights defined the 60s ever since 4 black students sat down at a whites-only lunch counter in Greensboro, North Carolina in February 1960. We have just discussed the circumstances that led to MLK's speech. Second, I will discuss the impact this speech had on the world. The impact of this speech led to the formation of many civil rights groups and the continuous fight for freedom. The audience, as a result, was filled with hope for the future. In the deliverance of MLK's speech, I Have a Dream, he declares that I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. According to New York Times, it almost seemed that we stood on a height and could see our inherited. Perhaps we can make the kingdom real. That, my friends, the kingdom is the pathway of freedom. According to New York Times, the March on Washington and Dr. King's dream speech would play an important role in helping pass the '64 Civil Rights Act. According to New York Times, Mr. Obama channeled Dr. King's vision, hope, speaking of coming together as one American family. We have investigated the circumstances that led to I Have a Dream, and second, the worldly impact. I believe everyone should take the time to read this speech because it is inspiring, gives people hope, gives them a new perspective, and educates them about the history of the struggle for civil rights. The speech is inspiring because King himself uses combined verses from the Bible and his gathered government knowledge. The history is important to learn because without civil rights today, segregation will continue to exist and blacks would not have the right to vote in these United States. Thank you very much.